Asked AI.
Free speech is a fundamental right in both Europe and the United States. However, there are some important differences in how free speech is interpreted and applied in the two regions. In this video, we will take a critical look at free speech in Europe and the USA, using as examples COVID vaccination, pro-Palestine protests, and gender ideology. The issue of free speech in Europe and the USA is a complex one, and there is no easy answer to the question of how to balance the right to free speech with the need to protect public health and safety. During the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a lot of debate about free speech and the right to spread misinformation about vaccines. In Europe, some countries have taken steps to restrict the spread of vaccine misinformation, while others have taken a more hands-off approach. In Germany, for example, it is illegal to spread false information about vaccines that could endanger public health. In France, there is a similar law that prohibits the spread of false information about vaccines that could lead to death or serious injury. In the United States, on the other hand, there is no specific law against spreading misinformation about vaccines. However, social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter have taken steps to remove false information about vaccines from their platforms. It is important to allow people to express their views, even if those views are unpopular. However, it is also important to prevent the spread of misinformation that could endanger public health. This is a difficult balance to strike, and there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Pro-Palestine protests have also been a source of controversy in both Europe and the USA. In Europe, some countries have banned pro-Palestine protests, while others have allowed them to proceed, but with restrictions. In France, for example, pro-Palestine protests were banned in 2014 after clashes between protesters and police. In Germany, pro-Palestine protests have been allowed to proceed, but police have cracked down on protesters who have chanted anti-Semitic slogans. In the United States, pro-Palestine protests have been allowed to proceed without any restrictions. However, there have been some reports of violence and intimidation at pro-Palestine protests in the United States. It is inevitable to allow people to express their support for the Palestinian people. However, it is also important to prevent violence and intimidation. Again, this is a difficult balance to strike, and there is no easy answer. Gender ideology is another topic that has been the subject of much debate in both Europe and the USA. Gender ideology is the idea that there are more than two genders, and that people should be free to identify with the gender that they feel most comfortable with. In Europe, some countries have taken steps to promote gender ideology, while others have taken a more skeptical approach. In Sweden, for example, there is a law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of gender identity. In the United Kingdom, there is a similar law that prohibits discrimination on the basis of gender identity. In the United States, gender ideology has been a source of much controversy. Some states have passed laws that restrict the rights of transgender people, while other states have passed laws that protect the rights of transgender people. It is an important issue to allow people to express their views about gender identity. However, it is also important to protect the rights of transgender people. This is a complex issue, and there is no easy answer. Overall, the issue of free speech in Europe and the USA is a complex one, and there is no easy answer to the question of how to balance the right to free speech with the need to protect public health and safety. It is important to have open and honest discussions about this issue, and to be willing to listen to different perspectives. But what do you think? Do we have freedom of expression in Western countries? Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.